Hey, so it is May 1st, Wednesday, 2019. It's been 2 days since I last made my video. And May 1st, it's actually a 30-day mark from when I left for deployment in Norfolk, Virginia. And I spent about 3.5-ish years in Virginia. It's been a very long time. A month from now, actually, is my June 2nd. So, month and a day. I don't know how many days there are in May, but is my 4-year mark in the Navy, which is good because I get my clothing allowance, and during that time we should be in the Middle East, which is tax-free, so no taxes are going to be taken out, which means I get to pocket more money, invest in it, and put fuel for my financial freedom in the future, which is amazing. So since the last 2 days, right, within those 2 days, nothing really happened. 2 days ago, I got into an argument with one of my people that I work with. Not technically my coworker at one point, because I used to work for supply. Logistics specialists are within the supply department. But I got sick of it. I said, hey, get me out of here. And I got transferred to AIMD department. And as within aviation intermediate maintenance department, I deal with customers for squadrons, right? So for example, let's say this block for charger is like a $10,000 part for a jet, right? A squadron, people who work on repairing jets or helicopters, come to me and say, hey, this is broken, here is the proper paperwork, and my job is to get the part, get the proper paperwork, put it into the ship's system, right? And wherever this is getting fixed, I send it to that facility within the ship. If it cannot be fixed, I give it to supply department along with the necessary paperwork and say, hey, supply department, you need to take it off and ship it to a facility where it's going to be repaired. So I'm the middleman in the process, right? But I was originally born in the supply department, and now I understand my job within AIMD department. I have a knowledge base of 2 departments. I understand how this whole system operates, right? One of the flaws with the people that I work with on the supply department side is they're not necessarily fast. They like to take their time, right? And I don't know where I got this. Maybe it's from my time working at Hollister or Abercrombie and Fitch or at the watch repair store. Whenever a customer comes in, right, I personally like to help them as fast as possible, right? If they want to hang out after they got what they need, by all means, right? But I don't know if it's the sailor culture or if it's some people being lazy, millennials, whatever you want to call it, right? I'm a millennial too. I have my lazy tendencies. But when it comes to customer service, I take it very serious. Squadron comes to me, right? I give the part, I process the part necessarily, whatever needs to happen, right? But remind you, Squadron gave me a part for a jet, right? For example, let's say a jet, right? So they're still missing this part, and guess who they get it from? They get it from supply department because they're supply. Like I said, my personality, I want my customers in and out within, let's say, less than 5 minutes. So I'm very friendly with the supply department guys because I've worked with them, I know them. I have been going out of my way, right, to do a little bit of supply department's job, right? Like I said, my job is to receive the part from the squadron, and within the ship's computer system, I send it to wherever it needs to be sent, and that's it. Right? And then the squadron goes to supply and say, hey, supply, give me this part, right? But I went the extra mile to expedite that process, which in reality saves right about 5 minutes per customer, right? And to me, that's very important. To be able to save my customer 5 minutes because I have knowledge of 2 different departments is very important. The way I look at it is, hey, that 5 minutes that I was able to save my customer is 5 minutes that within, let's say they come to me, 2-3 times a day, let's say 3 times. 15 minutes, right? That 15 minutes I saved that customer could be 15 minutes that customer uses to relax at the end of the day after a very exhausting day, and they have a 15-minute breather, right? Or if it's an extremely busy day, that 15 minutes could be just enough for them to complete their work. Or if it's, an impossible day where the work extends past their working hours, that 15 minutes could still be enough where in between they catch a breather. Or maybe instead of finishing after a 15-hour shift, they finish working a 14 hour and 45-minute shift, right? So to me, that's how I look at it, and it's that important to me that I get my customers in and out really fast. And within a day, I get right about 20-25 customers on average, right? So I save 5 minutes, right? That's 125. Multiply that by 200 days in deployment. I don't know exactly how much that is. I don't have a calculator in front of me, but I save I would like, just for example, I would like to say I'd save like hundreds of hours, maybe 100 hours. I don't know. Let's say 100 man hours are saved by one person, right? To me, that's important. That's enough. I've done my job. I've done a little bit more than what I'm supposed to, yes, but for me to help other people in that way, that's enough for me, right? And when you do stuff for a very long time, when you go out of your way for a very long time, people start to think, oh, that's how it should be, right? And I had an argument with one of the supply guys because he just did not understand. Oh, well, that's what you're supposed to do. And I explained, no, my job is to induct and notify you, supply department, that the customer's ready, right? And we just went back and forth, arguing. And to me, I don't like negative energy. I'm all about positivity, right? And it's just exhausting when I don't do it for, I don't do it to be recognized, right? I just do it for my customer. I do it because I want to help them, right? But when people fail to understand that they are wrong, when people fail to understand that the extra steps I was taking to help them, supply department, have an easier life, easier job, right? Which in return helps my customer because supply is a little bit slower, right? When they fail to realize that, it's just almost frustrating when gratitude of, hey, Kim is doing a good job for us, let's help him out, or when that is being taken as, well, Kim, this is what Kim should do, this is what he should be doing, right? And I could go on and on, but that's just kind of what the argument was about. And some people just, it almost makes me not want to help them, but it's just who I am, it's just how I look at things. I personally just want to provide the best customer service and help people within the day. So yesterday nothing happened. Usually lately I've been enjoying breakdancing after work. Personally for me, I hate lifting like weights or cardio on a treadmill. It's boring to me, right? So for me, cardio is breakdancing, where I'm just moving around non-stop, sweating and using my cardio. And weightlifting is for me like doing handstands and holding it, so my body, I'm using my muscles. Or from sitting down, I go to a handstand and come back down and stuff like that. That's my weightlifting. When you're in the ship, you also transfer like movies a lot, movies and animes. So I got a bunch of animes like Full Metal Alchemist, Avengers, not the latest ones. Avengers Endgame did come out, and somebody brought it to the ship, and that spread like wildfire, like airdropping. People are airdropping like crazy. I can't watch it because I gotta wait for my girlfriend. I have to watch it with my girlfriend because we watched the first one, Avengers Infinity Wars, together, and yeah, we promised each other that we'll watch the Endgame together. Even though sometimes I'll walk into a room, people are talking about it, like, and I'll hear like Iron Man or like, you know, stuff happen here and there. Like, it's like, oh my gosh, you know. But staying true, still not watching it. But Game of Thrones, I can still watch it because my girlfriend does not watch Game of Thrones. So, right, the ship gets a terrible quality Game of Thrones. It's almost like let's say a Game of Thrones was playing in the movie theaters, and you know those camera quality versions, like somebody gets a camera and records on the movie theater. The quality that we're getting on the ship for Game of Thrones is like somebody went to a movie theater, Game of Thrones was playing, they were recording on their camera. The quality we're getting is somebody is recording the person, recording the camera, recording it on a movie screen. It's like, it's terrible. I don't understand why it's terrible. So usually I'm just waiting until somebody gets it within the ship, and then I'll watch it then. But yeah, that is what I've been really up to. Work hasn't been too busy. Next week we pull into Croatia, which the world will know already by the time you're watching this. And actually today I got paid, which is amazing. And my stocks have been doing phenomenally. And right now, I don't know if I said this in my previous videos, I'm just taking it 1 week at a time. Because when you start to think about, oh, I'm 180 days out or something like that, you start getting crazy. But when you start, you know, taking it 1 week at a time, like last week I got to pick orders for the first time. This week I get paid today. Next week we go to Croatia. The week after that is the 15th, so I get paid again. And the week after that, on the 21st, YouTube pays me. And then also I get, on the 14th, I get dividend from Apple. And the last week of May, I get paid because the first falls on a weekend, and you only get paid on a business day, so Monday through Friday. So because the first falls on the Saturday, I get paid on the Friday. And then next month, the first week, it's like I get dividend from, I think, Bank of America. I think it's like $70 dividend. And so the cycle of looking forward to something 1 week at a time continues. So that's kind of how I'm taking it right now. So yeah, right now it is 10:46 a.m., right? So 10:46 as it is military time. So way past my shift. I was just up here kind of watching my anime, eating and relaxing. It's like a little mini office, I know I've told you before, where not a lot of people come in and out. We just keep store stuff here, and I use it to record the videos and stuff. So yeah, I'm probably gonna go lay in my bed, brush my teeth, lay in my bed, and yeah, relax, and then start my day again at 1800, 6 p.m. And yeah, that'll be that. Thank you for watching. Have a fine Navy Day, guys.